I've always thought I was the rational type. The kind of person who hears a bump in the night and shrugs it off as the house settling. That's what you tell yourself when you live alone. You learn to tune out the creaks and clicks. You normalize the silence between noises. But one night changed that for me. It was a Thursday. Nothing unusual about the day. I'd worked from home, took care of emails, had a microwave dinner, and was halfway through a true crime documentary when I noticed something strange, a soft glow coming from beneath the basement door. At first, I didn't think much of it. I assumed I'd left the light on earlier in the day when I went down to grab an old toolkit. But as I walked toward the door to turn it off, I froze. The basement light doesn't have a switch upstairs. It's just a hanging bulb with a pull chain halfway down the stairs. I would have had to go down there in the dark to turn it on, and I clearly remembered flipping the chain off when I came back up. My chest tightened. I reached for the doorknob slowly, quietly, like I didn't want to wake something up. I pressed my ear to the door. Nothing. No footsteps. No movement. No humming appliance. Just that faint hum of a light bulb and the cold, unshakable feeling that I was not alone. Still, I opened the door. The basement stairs creaked beneath my weight as I stepped down a few steps, enough to peek around the corner. The single bulb dangled and flickered. There was no one there. But something felt wrong, off balance. Like the room had just been disturbed. A faint chemical smell lingered in the air. Not mold. Not wood. Something artificial. I slowly backed away and shut the door, locking it even though I knew it wouldn't do much. Then I walked through the entire house, front to back. Every closet, every room. Nothing was out of place. No windows were open. No signs of forced entry. I didn't sleep much that night. The next day, I chalked it up to forgetfulness. Maybe I was more distracted than I thought. I tried to forget about it. But that weekend, it happened again. This time, it was 2:14 a.m. I'd been asleep, but something woke me, that subtle glow from under the basement door. My heart started racing immediately. There was no way I forgot twice. I hadn't been down there all day. And then I saw it, the shadow of feet. Not moving. Just standing there. Perfectly still. Right behind the door. I didn't move for what felt like 10 minutes. I just stared, waiting for the shadow to shift, to leave, to disappear. But it didn't. It just stood there, and then, suddenly it was gone. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and approached the door again. The light was still on. I couldn't bring myself to open it this time. I backed away, locked myself in my bedroom, and kept the hallway lights on until morning. I finally decided to install a small camera at the top of the basement stairs. One of those motion-activated ones that uploads clips to your phone. I didn't want to admit how paranoid I'd become, but I had to know I wasn't imagining this. The first night? Nothing. Second night? Still nothing. On the third night, I stayed awake past 2 a.m. just to check the feed. Nothing unusual. But when I woke up that morning, there was a notification. Motion detected 2:17 a.m. I opened the app. The clip was just 10 seconds. The light was off at first. Then it flicked on, all by itself. No hand. No pull. Just on. And then, for a brief moment, the frame caught something at the bottom of the stairs. It was blurry. Just a shape. A hunched, humanoid figure stepping backward into the shadows. I dropped the phone. I couldn't breathe. I felt like something was watching me right then, like the walls were thinner than I thought. I called the police that morning. They sent someone over. I showed them the footage, told them about the footsteps, the shadow, the lights. They did a full sweep of the house. Nothing. No signs of entry. No fingerprints. No footprints in the dust on the basement floor. No hidden doors. No squatters. One officer, younger guy, said it could be a wiring issue. Lights can short on and off, especially in older homes. But when I told him about the figure in the video, he just shrugged. Could be a bug on the lens. You'd be surprised what those cameras pick up. They left, and I was alone again. That night, I slept with the lights on. The next day, I went down into the basement myself. Flashlight in one hand, crowbar in the other. I checked every corner, every shelf. I opened boxes I hadn't touched in years. Nothing. But just as I was about to leave, I noticed something scratched into the wooden support beam near the back. At first, it looked random, jagged lines like someone had gouged the wood with a key or a knife. But when I looked closer, I realized it was a name. Elliot. I don't know anyone named Elliot. I never have. And no one else has ever lived in this house, according to property records. I stared at it for a long time, then backed away slowly. I haven't been down there since. The light still turns on some nights. The camera still catches movement. And every time I check, it's worse. The figure stays in frame longer. It moves closer to the top of the stairs. Last night, it made it to the 5th step. And soon I know it's going to reach the door.